Hi, everyone. My name is John Covell, and welcome to AI Engine Optimization, how to increase your institution's visibility in generative search. Thank you so much for watching this webinar. There's a lot going on with search, especially in the past year. We're going to cover some of the things that have changed, what we think is going to be happening, and ways you can approach this change to take advantage of the new way in which people are looking for information on the internet. I'm going to start off quickly with a quick introduction. Again, my name is John Covell. I'm the AVP of Integrated Paid Media here at Carnegie. A fun fact about me, I lived in Japan for a year after high school. I am no longer fluent. I wouldn't even say I was ever really fluent, but I can still count to 10, which is pretty good, I think. I am the questioning and supportive guide, which is my Carnegie archetype, and my colors are purple, blue, and green. And I'll pass it over to my co-presenter, Kate.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate McGowan. I'm Senior Content and SEO Specialist here at Carnegie. I currently live in Austin, Texas. I'm from Orlando, Florida. So, my fun fact is that I love the sun and only live in sunny places. My personality for Carnegie is the adventurous and caring advisor. So, my colors are purple, yellow, and green.
Great. So the agenda today, we're going to be covering three big topics. The first is talking about the changing landscape of search. What's happening? What's going on? And where do we think it's going to be going? Then what do those changes mean for higher ed marketers? What are the challenges that you all will be facing with these changes? And then last, what are some strategies you can use to optimize your website and your content to ensure you're taking advantage of these changes and being forefront and leaders with the way people are searching now? So the changing landscape of search. Let's start there. What is going on? Well, when we think about search and you think about it in the traditional way that's been this way for the past decade and more, I type in best nursing school in Boston, for example, and I get a list of blue links. Some of them are ads at the top, some of them are organic links. And I peruse these links, look at some of the descriptions, and I maybe click through to some of the sites and see what's available, see what I want to learn about and where I want to explore. What's happened in the past couple of years, especially with ChatGPT coming out, is I might be looking for schools in a different way. I might be looking for programs. I might be looking for places that I want to explore colleges and universities by asking conversational questions to a large language model like ChatGPT. I might describe who I am, things I'm interested in, what I want to do with my career, what I value. And so that type of conversation, that type of search has changed the way have looked for information. So this example here that I have is ChatGPT, of course. And when that came out, it revolutionized the way people look for information. Then Google decided to follow suit, which makes sense. And they've started to transition in the past year the way you search for information on Google. So again, on the left, you have the traditional way we think of search, and this still appears, of course, for users, and it's not like it's totally gone away, but they added AI overviews, which is the image on the right there. So now there's a AI summary of various schools and opportunities based on your search query, and it gives you a lot more comprehensive information than just going through link by link. You can kind of see some of the things we highlighted here. There's various links to different sources. There's summaries of the websites and the landing pages, etc. So this AI overview came out about a year ago and has really changed already the way people search for information. And they might not even click on ads anymore. They might not even click on organic links anymore. They might get what they need from this section and then move on or do another search. Additionally, with this AI overview, we've also seen an increase in the value of video and imagery, especially for those trying to appear in AI overviews. Taking advantage and optimizing your imagery and video to appear is very, very critical. So this is an example about nursing school again, and a YouTube video showed up. And imagery from the site showed up. And it's very, very important to be able to appear this way. You want to optimize your content like this. So people are now looking for imagery and video and clicking on videos, going to YouTube, etc. We'll talk about ways you can do that. But this sort of change is really prevalent in AI overviews, especially. So then, 4 months ago, Google officially announced AI mode. It had been in beta for a while. And AI mode is basically Google's ChatGPT. So this is a screen share here of someone going from AI overview to AI mode, but you can get it to it directly now from the search bar. And you can see the look and feel of this is very, very ChatGPT-esque or Perplexity-like, which is another large language model. And you can see as well here with AI mode, their imagery is still important, so are links and videos as well. But the content in the field, the conversational experience is there now. And with that, Google Ads has started to roll out ads appearing in AI Review and AI mode. Here's an example for Franklin Pierce at the top ad there. and Full Sail University. These are ads that have appeared in AI mode and AI overviews, and Google has rolled out various ways to try and get your ads and get marketers' ads to show up here because this is where people are starting to search. And we'll talk about ways you can do that as well. I do want to summarize everything I've sort of talked about with projections. What does it look like moving forward? What is it like now in terms of how people are exploring the web and getting to sites? So this is projected annual visitors by source from SEMrush, which is a leading search engine provider and information source on the web. And they've sort of predicted alongside us, we see this as a similar trend, that right now traditional organic search is still the top visitor driver, of course, but large language models, that line in red, is starting to increase. And by 2028, they think that's the shift. That's the breaking point of the point in which users will come from large language models, including AI mode, but also ChatGPT, Perplexity, and so on. And that's where people will be coming from their site. So it's important then to think about what does it mean from the content perspective if users are actually coming to your site after having a conversation with large language models. They might get most of their information from that conversation in AI mode or ChatGPT and really just coming to your site for really in-depth information or to convert. So it's really important to prepare for ourselves for this because we don't know when this shift will happen. We are seeing a similar trend. We're seeing 850% year-over-year growth from traffic coming from AI search engines. And that is a small number comparatively to organic traditional search that's coming that way. But the rate of which it's increasing is continuing to go up and up and up. So, what does this all mean for you? What does this mean for higher ed marketers? How do you face these challenges and what's going on? So, the old behavior, to summarize everything I've kind of covered here, is that a user in the past with search would type a specific search query into a search bar. And they would click through multiple websites, find the answers they need, and then they regularly visit a site or two to search for additional details. The new behavior now is they use natural conversational language within these AI search engines and large language models, and they rely on AI to surface the most relevant information to us. And then they visit that site only when seeking in-depth information, or, as I mentioned earlier, they're ready to take that action. So it's a totally different behavior. So why is AI engine optimization critical, and why is it so important? There are four challenges that we need to think about for higher ed marketers that are facing. And these four challenges are why we need to invest in and think about optimizing for AI engines. The first is there's declining brand visibility as websites and content are not yet optimized for AI-driven search experiences. If you're not optimized for that and someone's searching for the best schools in Boston, if you're not ready for AI's evaluation of your site, you're going to be missing out. You're not going to be showing. Traditional paid search, as we think about it, is generating fewer impressions and the clicks are becoming more expensive. Fewer site visits increase pressure on each site visit to convert. And then there's limited data right now to measure impacts and success. So what are some solutions? Well, the first is we need to shift the focus to a full funnel content strategy designed to boost visibility across AI-powered search results. We need to increase the use of visual and video content optimized for AI search. We need to leverage AI-focused paid search strategies. And then we need to unlock deeper analytics to understand performance to drive these results. So we just talked about four solutions. We're going to go through those solutions in a little bit more detail, and I'm going to pass it over to Kate here to walk through the first few.
Thanks. Yeah, since Google started showing AI overviews 2 years ago, we've learned a lot we've learned a lot at Carnegie about how traditional SEO is foundational and remains important, but is going to flex and include new strategies for optimization for generative engines. But the bottom line of appearing for or ranking in Google AI mode, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and these other tools is to create content, image, and video optimized for LLM understanding. So quick example here, for instance, the search question, what is an associate's degree? You see that on the right-hand side where the citations appear, San Juan College is cited first for their blog, is earning an associate degree worth it? It's cited first out of around 17 sources trusted to answer the question. And this is an example of, the question, what is an associate's degree? But this this strategy also works and can work for other types of audiences, other types of prospective students, like adult students. Also, search terms across your interests, like business schools in Texas, or how to find a nursing school, or how to go back to school as an adult. The content can really be the driver to become this first citation in AI mode and appear in an engaging way in these new search experiences. So in order to do that, to become that first citation or cited in AI mode, what you can do to shift in your content marketing strategy is include, as John mentioned, images and videos in your marketing strategy. So not only are images and videos appearing more often in LLMs than traditional search, we also know that individual pages with engaging images, with optimized images, are also appearing more often in AI mode and other sorts of AI engines. So in order to optimize your images and videos, you need to look at including keywords and infusing a search intent into the image and video titles, descriptions, and when it comes to videos like YouTube videos, optimizing the transcripts with relevant keywords. And the also in order to Yes. Also, each page needs to load quickly and use structured headings and metadata to ensure that AI crawlers can read and understand content immediately. And most importantly, well-organized, helpful web content remains the key driver of ranking in LLMs and helps high-intent users find the information they need to make a decision. So pages of rich, relevant content that is authoritative and earns trust, and blogs and thought leadership for that reason are often cited in AI models, and they can increase your visibility at the top of the enrollment funnel where those clicks are decreasing the most. So become a trusted source for AI and users, especially leveraging your subject matter experts, such as your faculty members, to infuse human-driven expertise into your website content. So for this example, the pages that were cited in the result, they are found because the page is relevant, semantically relevant with keywords. Also, they were able to be found and discovered from a crawl, either by linked to another page on a website or it appears in the sitemap. It was also, AI engine was also able to understand the page quickly and pull relevant information easily from clear sections on the pages in order to make up the answer in clear, easy to understand text without jargon. So next I'm going to pass it back to John to talk about the paid ads that we are looking at right now.
Great, thanks, Kate. So yes, the paid side is very, very interesting, and a lot has changed in the past 3 months or so. So AI Max for search came out, and it was readily available now, or has been readily available now for the past month or so. And what this is an upgrade to regular search campaigns. So it's not necessarily a new campaign type, but is a toggle within an existing search campaign, and it uses existing keywords, landing pages, ads, etc., and it applies AI to fine-tune headlines, descriptions, and to drive traffic to appropriate pages. The reason you want to test this and invest in this and try this is because it increases ad visibility and new AI search experiences. And you can still keep control. You have tools like negative exclusions and asset reviews, but you're giving Google and yourself the opportunity to appear in AI mode and AI overviews. So that paid side of things, while still relevant in a traditional way we think about search, still continue to invest there right now. But as we start to see the trend more and more become users using AI mode and AI overviews, then that's where we need to make sure our ads are appearing to capitalize on that and still drive the traffic we want with the messaging we want, and make sure that we're still visible where we need to be. You combine that with what some of Kate just talked about from the idea of a traditional AI engine optimization SEO style, where you're making sure the content on your site is aligned with how AI is looking for information and sharing it. You have a paid ad alongside of it. You're starting to take advantage of and maximize your visibility with all AI approaches and engines, especially with related to Google. Now, this is a Google specific product, of course, but in the future, it could be that Perplexity and ChatGPT, for specifically those two, which have started to tease ads, ChatGPT, for example, just came out with an article that they're looking at an ad infrastructure. It may be in the future that it's a Google, Perplexity, and ChatGPT paid ad experience. And that's where marketers can invest their money to drive traffic in the way that we think about traditional search now. One of the challenges that we do face with Google, though, is we don't have a whole lot of information on the types of and places in which some of these AI Max campaigns are serving and where we are seeing the traffic coming from. They will, in my opinion, give us that opportunity and give us that visibility in the future. But right now, we don't have it. So some of the visibility that we don't have from Google and some of the visibility which we still have and can get from SaaS tools like SEMrush, all of that combined is really important to make sure that your website and the tools you're using are set up to measure success across both an organic perspective and a paid perspective. So with that, I'll pass it back to Kate to walk through some of those things.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just like John was mentioning, in order to really ensure that your comprehensive AI search strategy is impactful and also able to refine it over time as you understand more about how it works, it's essential to get accurate data on web traffic that comes from AI search engines. However, it is inherently challenging to track when your content or brand is mentioned or cited by AI tools, but you must use data to drive decisions in this world and see if your efforts end up making an impact on your visibility and adjusting your strategies as you go. So, in order to gain as much accurate information as you can, we recommend using Google Analytics and relying on ensuring that you have accurate traffic insights specifically by implementing custom tracking and segmentation in order to see referral traffic from popular large language models like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude. And so, how you can do this, in addition to Google Analytics, try to get more information, is that you can explore SaaS tools and also check manually by performing searches on Google AI mode and ChatGPT and Perplexity and all of these. You can check manually or explore tools that help you do it a little bit more quickly. These are the things you want to look out for: is your overall visibility. So, is your brand appearing in the answer of a search question that you find is important to your audience or your brand? And then you want to see if your citation is your website linked as a citation in the answer. And in addition, as another part of visibility, it won't always just be mentioned in the citations. It can also be your brand as the answer. For example, best business schools in Texas, the McCombs will appear for UT Austin, for example, in the answer. And you can also think about brand sentiment as a new metric to think about. So not only is the tool talking about your brand and mentioning your brand, but how does the tool talk about your brand? Does it have positive sentiment about your brand? Does it have negative sentiment? So you can understand these pieces of how you're appearing in AI experiences to understand how users may engage with your content and how your brand is being displayed. So just to sum up, when you're thinking about optimizing your entire marketing strategy for AI search engines, we know that this change is coming and coming fast. The things that you want to consider is creating conversational, especially question-based articles that are designed to improve AI visibility. You also want to ensure that AI optimized visuals and YouTube content are able to surface in AI search experiences and that they're optimized for keyword richness. You also want to understand how AI powered Google paid search campaigns can be built to boost visibility in AI searches. And finally, use Google Analytics setup to track AI driven traffic behavior and optimize the site for conversion. Next, I'll just pass it back to John to wrap up.
Great, thanks, Kate. So thank everyone for viewing and watching us here. Search is changing like it's never changed before. I've been around for almost a decade in this industry, and never before have I seen such a radical shift that's coming and it's starting to appear now. We've been helping clients navigate this already, and if you have any questions, thoughts, feedback, please let us know. But again, thank you for watching, and talk soon.